Hey everybody, Caleb here. You might notice I have a little bit less hair on my head. I cut it all off. I was tired of it. It was just in the way of everything. But today, we're doing another video in the 60-day upload challenge. Really fast, really quick. Like this video. It's a thumbs up for me, thumbs up for you. It's awesome of you to do it. And subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. We have a lot of different content coming out this week. You're not going to want to miss it, and so make sure to do that. But today, we are talking about how I first did prayer, how I first kind of dove in and started doing prayer, and some just different tips I got for how to make your prayer life a thing. Now, when I think of prayer, the reality is it's one of the most important things I do in a day. I think it's one of the most important things anybody can do in their day. But it is one of the easiest things to set aside and forget to actually do. And so, with prayer, how do we step into it? How do we do it well? How do we just take that time to participate within it? Now, first, understanding what we should do, how we can do it, all those different things, first we need to ask ourselves, what is it? What is prayer? Prayer is talking to God. Prayer is looking to God and talking to Him. And that's not necessarily saying you have to go with just your requests. Actually, we don't just pray for requests. Do you just go to somebody and ask them for money all the time? No. Like, after a while, they're like, holy cow, like, all they want me for is this, this, or this. So we take time to pray to God, and we go and we want to just, like, thank Him. We want to thank God for how awesome He is. We want to be able to talk to God and ask Him for things. Like, God's referred to as a Father within the Bible. That's the imagery they choose to use. We see that God the Father, He does want to help us with our needs. He does want to meet us in our needs. And so we want to pray and ask God for things, but also we want to thank Him. We want to come before Him and just also talk to Him. Like, I'll take time in my day sometimes just to pray and just be like, God, like, this just went really well, or God, this went really bad. Lord, help me through this. Like, I'll talk through my day with Him a little bit. Like, that's an important thing with it. Now that we understand a little bit of what prayer is, very small, there's like whole books about what prayer is, but it's just a little bit. Now, let's talk about how I first began doing prayer. Now, when I was little, it was basically like pray at dinner and pray before bed. Like, that was kind of what it is. My parents would have me do that, and that was just kind of the introductory amount that I would do with it. Now, once I started getting a little bit older, I started to take prayer and make it something that I was choosing to do. It was something that I was choosing to participate with, and not just something my parents were telling me to do or having me practice. Now, what did it look like then for me once I started taking ownership of it myself? It started to look a lot like me not knowing what to say. Like, just genuinely. You don't always know what to say at first when you pray. So I started looking in the Bible, and I would go to the Lord's Prayer in Matthew chapter 6. And I would start praying through that. Or I would look at it and be like, okay, I'll pray something like this, like what's written here. And I just started to listen to also how other people pray. Like, that's not a bad thing. Like, you know, I think about, and this is a very, like, different circumstance, but I think about when I know people and how they'll talk to, like, a spouse or a girlfriend or a girl they even like. Like, for me, I would look at that and I'd be like, oh, like, okay, that's how you start a conversation like that. In the same way with prayer, I would listen to how people were praying in different moments, be like, oh, okay, that's kind of a way you can pray. That's good to know. Like, I would store that up, and I would have that in my mind when I would go to pray. And again, like, you know, you don't want to, like, walk up to a girl and just always use the same pickup line. And again, this is it's a skewed analogy, but like, at first it feels a little uncomfortable, but after a while you're like, oh, okay, like, I actually know how to talk to a girl. In the same way, like, okay, I now know how to talk to God. I'm learning on my own. I'm figuring out how I pray, how I talk, how I communicate, that sort of a thing. Now, one of the biggest things, this is the tip I kind of want to give, this is the thing that I did at the very beginning that helped me so much, is I started journaling my prayers. I started writing down my prayers. I kind of write a letter to God. I would just say, hey, God, and I would just start writing through my day. I would write about things I was worried about. I would write about things just I was concerned about, and I would write through my prayers, because again, prayer doesn't just have to be talking out loud. I think it's a very valuable and a very tactile thing that you should get to a point where you're praying out loud. But writing those out, it just made it where I was seeing what I was saying. I was thinking through it. It didn't feel as awkward, because I was just, okay, this is what I went through. Okay, this is something I need. Okay, I'm sorry for this. Okay, God, I really appreciate this about you. Like, I was able just to write it out and see it and know I was practicing that, and it was really helpful. So, my encouragement, how you guys can start praying today, even if you haven't before, maybe you're just in a rut where you're like, I just don't know what to pray right now. Journal out your prayers. And it might feel awkward at first, but just push past it. Honestly, like, don't let that be something that holds you up. Be willing to take that time to pray. It's an important thing. It's a valuable thing. That's how I began praying at first. A lot of the time was I was taking journaling, and I was choosing to journal out my prayers. So I encourage you guys, take that step, jump in, start praying, eat wherever you're at with God. You might be somebody who loves God and is following Jesus. You might be somebody who's just like, you're like, I don't even care about God, but I chose to watch this video. Hey, God still wants to hear from you. He still wants to talk to you. He's still there for you. And so take that that time to pray. That's my encouragement. Appreciate you guys so much for checking this out. Hope you guys have a great day. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, all those good things. We have a great vlog coming out later this week. You're not going to want to miss it. It might involve, actually I'm not even going to spoil it. Just check out to get subscribed so you don't miss the vlog. Cool. Comment your thoughts on prayer below. Right there. Good deal. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much.